here.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's live SEO Q&A session with myself and Mr. Chris Palmer. So finally, we're back together.
Yes.
And yes, so guys, any questions you've got, please do ask them. I do need to fix the lighting slightly because I feel as if I'm sitting dark now. Something's went wrong with my camera. But hey, I need to use the built-in one today, which is not perfect. But anyway, before we go into the show, do check out odys.cc if you're interested in age domains. You do get a $100 sign-up bonus, so be sure to grab that if anything, and be sure to ask any questions in the live chat. Anything at all you want to ask. But whilst people are joining, Chris, what is new? What's been happening in the past few weeks with you?
Couple weeks. A big client account. Setting up a new network for myself, like something a little bit different than like your run-of-the-mill, like $5 type link type network where it's just like copy paste, get everything up, and then sell. So trying to set up a little bit of a higher quality network. Changing the mastermind to I'm trying to get it to be more of a interactive, but moving the trainings over, setting up the calendars, like doing all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I hired 2 new VAs to help out with services and setting up stuff. So like training them, getting them in the process and in the mix, that takes time. Pumping out videos. So that's every day, top level marketing stuff, right? Got to have a content. And yeah, I'm working on a new training program. So that's about it. Yeah.
So you're keeping super busy as always.
Yeah.
That's about it. Yeah, see that as if it's hardly anything. Fuck me.
And then juggling a 14-year-old and a 4-year-old, and then of course family. It's just fun. You know, I'm having fun, man.
You have a crazy busy life. That is all I can see. But
how about you?
I was in Barcelona a couple of weeks back speaking at an event. It went well. Always good to get the sunshine. I had absolute travel chaos getting there, but hey, I got there in the end. And yeah, that's it. Nothing.
I always see on TikTok because I look at all your stuff and I follow you there, and I not Facebook, but I see on TikTok, and it's always like really nice cuisines or bottles, or you're traveling, and I'm like, damn, this guy. you don't show the work stuff, you know what I mean? It's always the nice part, not the hard part to get there, you know?
Yeah. Nah, it's always TikTok is the life that really doesn't happen, right? You always just show the good shit. And
of course.
I guess social media is like that in general. You show the good shit and shield all the hassle that you get. So but we have Maeve here and also a LinkedIn user. Obviously, your name doesn't pull through because of the settings on your computer. But if you do pop in to the YouTube channel directly, hopefully it does show up. But anyway, Chris, you spoke at Rockstars last year. Was that your first ever live speaking event?
No, the NFG one was first ever that I ever did live. Yeah.
So any advice? So we've got a LinkedIn user here that's going to be speaking at his first event soon. What would your advice be?
Practice the actual speaking of it, because me personally, it was the information and getting that all together in my head chronologically so I could pitch it. But I didn't practice actually the delivery. So getting the ideas and the thoughts and getting that all together so you can give it to people is one thing, but having that delivery, which is what I want to focus on. So you want to have the info, you want to have it all in nice order, and you want it to be great, but you got to deliver it good too. And then if it's live, I think that there's another aspect to that. Like I watched a guy at, I forget his name, but he's in the other SIA group or IMG group. and he does like local stuff. He's like a talker. He does like the tests or whatever. But I liked how he was getting the group engaged. So that delivery, because he stood out, even though maybe the info wasn't the best, but he stood out because of the way it was delivered. So if you could have the hot info plus the delivery, now you got somebody.
Yeah,
So that's what I would think, in my opinion.
I think the delivery is really, really important. That is what makes you stand out from the crowd.
Yep.
And I get that it comes with time, though. You know, I think we've all had a first speaking gig. And I'll tell you a story, Patrick, and it's Patrick who answered the question, Patrick Rice there. My first ever speaking event, it was a local meetup in London, and it was in a kind of basement type environment. And basically, I had agreed to speak there, and I really wanted to do this live speaking thing. And I got there and went in, and I met the organizer and all that stuff. And I walked back upstairs, and I stood outside, and I was overcome by like this cold fucking sweat, like just shitting myself. That's when the nerves kicked in. And I stood outside minutes before my talk, and my wife was in a hotel 2 minutes down the road. And I was that fucking close to walking away and just texting the guy saying, dude, something's come up, like some emergency situation. And fucked off. Now, I didn't, something inside me said, don't do this. Like, just get through it. Now, when I went down there, I was fucking sweating. There was drips of sweat bouncing off the bottom of my nose. And I got it over and done with. Now, the point I'm trying to make here is you will be overcome with fear. In my opinion, anyone who says they're not is a liar. You've just got to get that first one out of the way. It's never going to be perfect. Don't try and make it perfect, but do focus on the delivery, because this is where someone now, even though I was sweating and I felt it was really bad, a lot of people said to me the talk was good. But the knowledge is there. That's not a problem. The knowledge is there, but inside I felt really bad. And even now, when I go on stage, you always get nerves. But obviously I handle them a lot better. But get the first one out the way, do it, and just go with the flow. Take it, embrace it. And, you know, I certainly had never seen myself as being a public speaker. Always nervous at school when I was asked to read out in front of class and all that stuff. Didn't like any of that stuff. But, you know, I think if you push through it, do a couple, then your delivery and everything else will be really good. But what Chris says is the delivery, your presence on stage count for a lot. And if you look confident, boom, 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 and you see people doing stuff, that's all that matters. I'm pretty sure knowledge-wise, Patrick, you'll be fine. But I think the presence is a big thing. And people who deliver, you know, doing it at the right pace, and it's not mumbo-jumbo, rushed. Because I've seen so many other speakers go on stage and they're just like, and you're just like, what the fuck?
And like the nervousness,
nerve-related. So, and please, no one ever show me that clip back of that noise I just made. That was terrible. But yeah, I think just go for it, Patrick. The nerves will be there. Don't just try and not get too nervous. Just have a few beers before it and just chill the fuck out. If that's a thing that you can do. But anyway, Flavia's here. Good to see you, Flavia. Hey, SEO expert in New York. I take it you're ranking for that now, Chris, or something like that?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
I'm going to check
SEO expert New York. Let's see. Is that a Google site?
Yeah, and I should have the next spot too.
I've got a Joe Balstrino here. And then I've got a video of yours, and then I've got Chris Palmer Marketing. So I've got 3 out of the top 4 slots as you.
Oh, yeah. New York SEO expert. I got number 1, number 2, and then I got a video. Just a slight variation, but that one too should be okay. The SEO expert. But that's cool though. The site's really fun. I made an even more fun one because I started doing stuff like I rank for Los Angeles SEO expert, Houston SEO expert. There's a bunch of them with just flubber just for fun. But I found, like, as I was going through the paces of all the hardest cities for SEO, I found one that really stood out that was really hard, which is Chicago. So what I did is Chicago's super crazy. You would think LA and New York would be hard.
Yeah.
Chicago's hard. Try to rank in Chicago. So in any case, I went over to Chicago to try to rank, but I did it with zeros. Yeah. So I'm working on that page where we hit page 2 finally, like got it indexed. Hit page 2, number like 13, I think, but it's all zeros.
Jeez.
Yeah. That's fun, right?
But that Google site is interesting. Really interesting.
You like that?
Fucking hell, Chris. Spammy. I've just looked at the navigation bar. That's crazy. That's crazy. But
you should see dude, the Chicago one is, once that hits first page, I think that'll be a little bit more even funnier, I think.
Dude, like, is that lorem ipsum or just fucking a mixture of all sorts of shit?
It's lorem. It is lorem. It's lorem ipsum.
And you're just using the first part of the sentence.
The first part of the sentence, I just put my link there, and yeah, for fun. That's for fun. That's for fun. That was for fun.
You're the new Kyle Roof.
That's where I got that idea. That's why I wanted to do my own. That's why I'm going to do it with zeros.
Yeah.
Because I think that's even better. Like, it's just literally a page of zeros. Like 76% of the page is zeros. Literal. Zero.
The zero guy.
Yeah. Hey. You know, it's fun.
It is. Anyway, if Flavia is looking to buy guest posts on sites like CNN, The Independent, the BBC, and big websites like that, where, if anywhere, can you buy these?
I've seen vendors out and about for that type of stuff, right? I might know one. He's pretty clear about being able to help people acquire PR. His name's Randy Rodet at 38 Digital, I think. I think he could maybe assist you with that type of stuff, but it's going to cost you. Now, I think maybe a clearer or easier path could be maybe acquiring a site that might already have that type of backlink profile, like maybe with ODYS, or maybe you could find your own. I don't know. But you could get those or acquire those types of links with these types of services as well. But I would look to spend anywhere from $3,500, $1,500, somewhere in that range to acquire a link that you're talking about, somewhere in that range.
I would also say some of those, including the BBC, you're simply not, money can't buy them. It all is done through PR, pitching, coming up with the right story to then get on there, which Randy may be able to help you with or whatever. But there are certain big websites that you're just not going to be able to pay. Like, here's $1,500 or whatever, and all of a sudden get an article published on there. But yeah, I think what Chris said would be my alternative to that. You know, grab an expired domain name, age domain that's got links from there. Even if you go through the BBC, for example, and you go to broken links, check what domain names have actually expired, because it will show you the error, and then go and grab them that actually have links from the BBC. Very, very quick and easy way to do it is use the broken link thing, because the BBC are not going to go in and change that shit. So you can go in and then do your shit. So
I have a question. So, you know, like Ahrefs has that tool for finding the broken outbound.
Yeah.
Now there's a walkthrough for Semrush. They made 2 articles on it, but when you follow it, it doesn't bring you to that. It doesn't give me what I'm looking for. Like exactly what you're saying here. How do I accomplish this with Semrush? Am I missing something? Like doing the site audit or the toxicity report, I could get to the outbound links for error code.
Yeah.
But is there a way to find exactly the broken outbound links on a specific website utilizing Semrush?
No. Not that I'm aware of anyway. So Ahrefs does, and obviously shows you the error, and
So $200 a month in order to get that feature, or use another tool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm sure you could use, I don't know, Scrapebox or something to scrape shit up and stuff, but
those sites take a while though.
Yeah. They certainly do. Also, who's asking for Randy Roday? His website is 38digitalmarket.com. I will put it in the chat.com. There you go. For Flavia, who's looking for Randy's site.
Great guy.
Hopefully that helped you, Flavia. Randy has helped me massively over the years, so great guy.
Me too.
Online pundits. How can I check some random site on whether they have set up Google Search Console and Google Analytics or not? Please briefly explain me.
Well, if you check the source code, a lot of Search Console. Does Search Console give you? Don't they give you a site ID or a tag or something?
They give you a tag.
Tag. That's what it's called. So yeah, I would look for that. Look for the tags on the page. Look and see if they have analytics. But knowing that they have these things, why are you looking to see if a site has that set up or not? Am I missing something? What's the tactical advantage of knowing if?
Don't know, but you can also use there's a website called Built With, and it shows you what platform a website's built on and what shit's connected to it. So whether someone's got Hotjar on it, whether someone's got analytics set up and stuff like that. Again, not entirely sure what the benefit of knowing this or not would be, and what difference it would make to your life. But hey, if you really want to know,
there you go.
Happy days.
Fair enough.
Patrick saying it would be amazing if you ranked with zeros, Chris.
When I rank with zeros, I know.
When?
Yeah. When, for sure.
Mark, hello. Sup, guards. Online pundit. What's your opinion about expired domain backlinks? Is it a black hat? Do you think we can use an expired domain in an e-commerce online store website? So is this black hat, and can it be used in an e-com store?
I don't believe it to be black hat. A lot of really large brands, when they acquire other sites, they'll 301 it, the whole thing. They acquire a brand, 301 it to whatever. So I think it's very common practice. Anything that's in the light could be taken into the dark though, depending on the context of what you're doing, right? But with that being said, if we take a look, what was the secondary question? Do we think that it could be backlink? Oh, for e-commerce, it could be used for any business, of course. And no, it's not black hat. I think it's common practice.
I would 100% agree. Some people will call it black hat, but it's just a smart way of working, is my opinion. Toasty RV, my peeps. Not sure what that means, but Toasty RV to you as well.
Toasty RV. I'm not sure.
You know what that means?
No. I'm looking it up though.
You will have to let us know.
Is this a recipe? Is this the British cheese toasty? Is that that's what comes up for me? Like a little.
I have no idea what Doon is on about, but
little snack.
Business growth ready. Built with, tried it on a Wix website and they came back with built with shit. I find that funny. But anyway, Andy Woolley, how are you, man? Good to see you. Also SEOunderground.co.uk. I think you were there at last year.
Yeah, that's fun.
But that is on 4th of October this year. Tickets are on sale, seounderground.co.uk. Early bird ticket prices $195. You're not going to get a better deal than that. So just thought I'd throw that out there as well. Mr. Chase Rayner, another new picture, legend of the game. How's it going, Chase? And what is this picture, Chris, that he's got?
Looks like an AI of some sort, or I don't know. I see the red and the blue though. I don't know what that signifies. Pointing to the brain, and it's a robot. I'm not sure.
Something to do with AI.
Yeah, something to do with AI.
But check out Chase Rayner, great guy, and gives a lot of value to our community, which is always good. But Mark has a question. How do these SEO agencies get clients? Always curious because some barely have a social presence, but still busy. How are these agencies getting these, Chris? How are people generating leads if you're an agency owner? Does it have to be through social?
I don't think it has to be through social. I know a lot of guys that are just running straight PPC. They're doing very well. Most of the people that I talk to run off of referral though. One leads to the next, to the next, to the next. I think that everything works together though. A little PPC with a little bit of a social presence. Plus, as you're accruing new business, you'll start getting those referrals. All of it would probably be the best way. But everybody's path is different. I've talked to this guy does this guy does this. You know, you'll find your way, I'm sure.
You always find a way. So there you go. Let me just scroll back down. What tricks can you recommend me if I took an expired domain that is a registered trademark and the owner ordered me not to use it? So, Chris, someone said you ain't fucking using this domain name. It's a trademarked one. Are you going to try and somehow figure out a way to use it, or do you leave it at that point?
I would just move on. There's too many available. I mean, I would just move on. I wouldn't want any type of headache. I would just move on. Yeah, that's me though.
I think that's personally what I would do as well. If someone's got something trademarked, reality is that legally they're going to win, and that's it. You could try and hope that it goes under the radar. I wouldn't bother.
I mean, you could try a play. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of angles you could take that, but I don't know. You never know. You don't know who you're dealing with most of the time. Who knows?
Andy Woolley is saying Chase, who is here, that picture may be aligned to his new SEO tool. It could be. Shravan is saying it's a DALI image, Chase's PFP. Andy Woolley also goes on to say business meetings and referrals works well for a lot of agencies, plus trade shows. And ZD Electrical just started a pay-per-click campaign and took exact match keywords from competitors' highest ranking keywords and having huge success. Nice tip there from Dune. And Aaron Semenoff's got a question for you, Chris. Are you ever going to have your Scrapebox course available again?
Yeah, I learned a lot from Holly. Yes, I am. I'm thinking about doing a little bit. Once everything I know is running a lot smoother on my end, I have 3 new programs that I'm going to do them right back to back. Boom, boom, boom. But yeah, I'll have it available soon.
Is this the course that Holly was asking for a few months back? And she's like, Chris, when's this?
I finished that off and I offered it to, I don't know, 30, 40 people or so. I don't know. Whoever got it first. And then I took it down and I added about 6 or 7 more individual trainings because Scrapebox does a lot, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I just kept building and adding more stuff to it. I think I'm going to re-release it though with everything added. That's the goal.
what I don't understand here, Chris, is why would you only give it to 30 or 40 people? What if 300 people wanted it?
I didn't feel that it was done. I
Mm-hmm.
thought I could add more. And I was just looking for feedback. A lot of the people were happy, but yeah, everybody was happy. I mean, it was robust, but I thought that there was more. There is more.
Good. No, I was just curious to know because I see certain people selling certain courses and certain things, and it always is limited to a certain amount of people and shit like that. And I'm just like, why? What's the
Yeah,
benefit of that? But
I see that, but I think that Holly's on to something. Like, you can't have something available all the time.
yeah,
I think it almost devalues the information in a way. It can't always be there.
yeah,
If it's always there and it's always whatever, the probability of somebody thinking that it's valuable, the perceived value is much lower. So
mm-hmm.
I think that makes a difference.
Yeah.
I want people to get it and actually use it, As I always hated that, like on Podia especially, like people would get the trainings, and I'm like, oh, great. I was able to offer 50 units, right? We'll say. And then I go in and I'm checking like, oh, I wonder how their progress is. And then you look and they open up the intro video and then that's it. And I'm like, damn, you gave me, if I give somebody, $100, you best believe I'm going to use whatever I bought. You know what I mean? That's me though.
I've said it. 90% of people never finish a course. Certainly not from my experience, but hey. And I think you're for what it's worth. I think Holly probably is onto something. Anytime I've sold courses, I've always sold well round about Black Friday. When you sell courses all year round, they don't do the same numbers. They definitely don't. So, scarcity or whatever you want to call it is a good thing. But anyway, ZD Electrical, Brad got back to you. Good, glad he did, and hopefully you got what you were looking for. Online Pundit, doing SEO in an e-commerce in the last 7 months, but not getting much traffic. Can you suggest to me where I'm going wrong or some tips? It's hard to say without seeing your website. E-commerce though, there is certainly a lot more technical SEO required. Are your product variation pages all being crawled and indexed? Do you need them? For example, say you're selling a men's black shoe. Do you need the size 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 all being indexed as well? There's so many little things with e-commerce websites, depending on what platform it's on and all that kind of stuff, which need to be ironed out. Then you have potential content issues because a lot of e-commerce websites are loaded up with similar content across multiple websites. Are you building backlinks? There's so many different things that could be wrong. So we would, need to know more about what you have done. So let us know what you have done, and we'll tell you if you're along the right lines. Because clearly, if you're not getting much more traffic, something is off. But it could be on page, it could be off page, it could be technical, it could be whatever. And you could be hosted in the wrong place. You could be on the wrong platform. Yeah, if you're going to tell me it's a Wix website, we might have a problem as well. So, let us know what you're on, and we'll be able to answer it a little bit more specifically. But Aaron Semenoff wants you to answer something specifically, Chris. What are you primarily using Scrapebox for?
Scrapebox, primarily what I'm using it for is generating comments. That's I think that's the primary. That's like literally like when I log in there every other day or 3 or 4 times a week, what am I doing? Usually comments. But the other piece, but it takes a long time, at least for me, because I want everything now. It could only be 5 minutes, but to me that's like so the other piece is scraping for the broken links. I utilize that quite consistently. Scraping for the emails, and then I was doing the expired domains, but then I had a guy build out a tool for me. in order to scrape expireddomains.net quickly and kick me back results, because I need referring domains, like what country, what type of content's on the page, what's the anchor text. Like I needed more information a lot faster, and I didn't want to pay, you know, like DomCop or something, $250 a month for a custom crawler. So I bought one. Had to make it for me. Yeah, because I've been inspired by ODYS, to be honest with you. So I think that's another piece of it. Also, too, I talk to these guys at Surlinks a lot, quite a bit, you know, in passing. And the domains is a huge pain point for people, I think. So I don't know. I needed it. I needed it for not only building a network consistently, but I see another opportunity.
Opportunities is what it's
Iron
all
it out
about.
first. Yeah. Yeah.
Guys, we are at the halfway point. Please do like the video, even stick a comment below, talk in the live chat, whatever. We would fully appreciate it. And do make sure you are asking more questions. We want to answer as many questions as we can in the next half hour. So please do keep the questions coming. But business growth ready. Agency in Birmingham won a contract with a major national company, 180 million turnover. All they did was remove the no index from the robots after 8 weeks, and then some blogs. They then got 4 or 5 new referrals. You ever came across a project like that, Chris, where there's just been an easy win, something like that? And would it be right of an agency to charge a fortune to do that?
Well, that's two separate questions. So yes, I've had it, not maybe in that specific instance, no, but I've had slam dunks is what I call it. Like, oh, I found it already. Should an agency charge for it? Yes. Because yes. Yeah. Like, you know, there's that story, right? You know, like, I don't know. You know that story about the guy, the dad and the son, right? With the auto car, and he takes it to 4 different shops, and this guy tells him 10 grand, this guy tells him 10, this guy tells him 20, and they all go in there and try to fix it. And then the dad walks in, and he comes in there and he looks at the car and he taps it and he says, okay, go in there and try to start it. And it starts up. And then the dad tells him, all right, that's 50. He's like, what? Those guys told me 10 and 20 and 30. He said, you're not paying me for what I did. You're paying me because it took me 10 years to know that if you hit that spot, the car will start back up. Yeah. You heard this story before?
Yeah.
I think that, yes, you should pay because you found it. And that's you just 180 million. You know, what's your fee? 10 grand, 20 grand, whatever it is, whatever you say. It's worth it. Yeah.
Fair enough. No, I'm just curious to know, because I've had people saying, nah, I can't charge for that, or I won't charge for that. But
it depends on the relationship.
Business is business.
If that's going to be, now, it depends on where the relationship is. Like, if you know it's just going to be a one-time, and I'm going to collect this dollar right now, or that could be, it depends on how, like, it depends on the relationship. Like, if that could be something very long-term and it's going to be a long play, I might do that one for free. You know, like, oh, hey, I found this. If that's a way in, because that's a way longer. I'd rather go long than right now. That's me, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Smith, what are the best keyword tools for local? I'm going to assume that is GMB or Google Business Profile now. I just always see GBP as Great British Pounds, but obviously Google changed the name and confused everyone. But what is the local GBP or GMB or local organic? What's the best tool for keywords on these? He wants to see local search volume, not national. And obviously there's a number of different tools out there. What is working best on a local level, Chris?
I mean, I just search for the city plus whatever the keyword is, and I just go to Semrush. I mean, as far as anything else, if I'm just doing a quick search for location plus service, again, I'll use keywords everywhere for fun or Semrush. But is there an actual maps? Like, oh, these people are coming in here and doing this? I don't know. Is there another tool? Am I missing one?
There are tools out there such as like SE ranking. You've also got AccuRanker, which would appear to have more data on a more local level. So I think, I think there's something in that, and that the data is a little bit deeper and gives you a bit more accuracy when it is to towards a local level. But I'm not sure about GMB specific stuff, but certainly local organic. I know that those tools are decent for that. But GMB keyword tools, nah. I think you just got to go with the tools that are out there.
But even if, like, I run into this with clients sometimes, like, okay, the tool is saying 100. Now, if we had a tool that was dedicated to this and it had the same amount of inputs and the amount of data that, say, Semrush had, like one of these smaller ones, and even if it was dead set for a city and it had the perfect information and the volume was 120, does it really, Semrush says 100, this one is, this is accurate, it says 120. Like, does that really,
I know, but
really matter?
The argument to this, and I'm a massive Semrush fan, so I'm not saying it to be derogatory in any way, but there's certain areas where it says you get no search volume. We all know it does.
For sure.
So it's not about the 100 or the 120. We just need a signal to say, yes, there's some fucking search.
There's something here.
There's something here. And I think sometimes when you're doing it at a local level, or when you're starting out and you're using these tools, you're like, nah, no one searches for it because the tool says no. So I think just psychologically, I wish the tools would just say there's something here, but it's just not high volume. Even if they didn't have a 0, it just said low search volume or whatever, and we made the assumption that was under 100, it would be a lot better, just psychologically. But
like almost like the PP, like Google's tool, like it'll give you the, I don't know what that's called, the Pac-Man logo,
Yeah,
like less than,
Yeah, less than works, just so that we're not discounting everything, So, but that's the best I can advise, Joe. What's your thoughts, Chris, on programmatic SEO?
I'm sorry, I don't know what that would mean. I'm sorry. What does that mean? What do you mean?
Programmatic
I've never used that term.
I'm going to make the assumption.
I can look up the word programmatic. I mean, I could probably come up with something. I have Google at my dispense. Let me take a look here.
Let's have a wild guess at what programmatic SEO is, Chris. Make it up as you go. But I'm going to make the assumption he means just programmatic.
Oh, so like a systemized SEO. So my thoughts on systemized SEO, I think everybody follows a system or a certain process. If that's the word you want to use for process or system, because that's what the word means. Then yeah, what are my thoughts on it? Everybody follows a step or a process or a sequence of events that need to occur while I'm doing my SEO. Also, the nature nature of program music. According to a program schedule or method, a programmatic approach to change. So program schedule or method. So why do you mean he's asking? My thoughts on SEO process.
I'm not sure. Is that what you mean, Andy, or are you talking about programmatic advertising? Let us know. Aaron Semenoff, though, always targets 0 to 10 volume keywords on Ahrefs if it fits into a content cluster. And that's a good point, Aaron. He makes a very good point. If it fits into the content cluster, why the fuck not? And Andy Woolley's saying, business growth ready, you pay for the knowledge, not the time, as Chris said. And it's all about their questionable ethics. Anyway, Shravan is telling us programmatic SEO is like templated content scaled with automation or something. Think of Q&A sites and stuff, like aggregator sites. You do anything like that, Chris?
Kind of, but no, not necessarily. So what do I think about it? I think it can work. I've seen it work, but no, that's not something that I do on a consistent basis. No.
I've never heard it. Have you heard it called programmatic SEO as well?
I've never heard it that. No.
I've never heard of that term either. Like, that's a new one in me, but hey.
Like auto blogging. you know, like auto sites. Yes.
That's the thing. We all call things different stuff, but yeah, I'm glad we're now getting to to where we need to be. And oh yeah, expand on the mass page is automatically regarding programmatic expand and
Is
build.
that one of those AI generated photos? Looks like it, doesn't it?
Is that
No disrespect, Joe, but
is that an AI generated photo, Joe, or are you just an extremely handsome man? Is what Chris is asking.
yes.
Are you a programmatic guy?
Yeah.
Should be the question. But nah, we'll go back to Thomas, the train, toys, and more. How can you use YouTube to boost local SEO for a service-based business, Chris?
I think by targeting video result keywords that are related to the primary. So I think that it's a way to potentially generate more eyeballs for queries that you're already going for. Really, longer tail, you're able to rank semi-easily in some cases. I think that that's probably one of the best ways to go about it. I think I like it a lot. Does that answer the question though? I don't know.
Hopefully that helps you.
Yeah.
Chris, you
How do you use it?
Started the conversation ranked New York SEO expert or SEO expert New York. You use a video in there as well. You know, someone's searching locally, and the videos always tend to pop in round about position 3, position 4.
If there's a video result.
Yeah.
Right.
So again, that could be just a strategy to push the competition further down, like you did with obviously the couple of slots that you've got. You know, for me in the UK, you had 3 out of the top 4 search results, one of them being a video. So again, I just think taking up more of the landscape using a video, if the video opportunity is there as well, is a good enough strategy. And obviously, people do search on YouTube like a search engine. So that's the other thing. People are searching for things on YouTube. So is there a lot of people looking for services based on YouTube? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not so sure of the stats on that, but I certainly think it's something worth playing with. And
I think there's a bigger play there too, like targeting entity results, especially when you're a local business. Like if there's a result that's showcasing, say, a video carousel or a video result, like a featured image or like a video result, or if maybe they're having an image carousel or there's an image result or any type of entity-based result, if you have enough of that, what you'll tend to find is when you do create the page, like if you have a lot of images out there, or maybe even audio or videos around that topic, especially for those specific types of queries that show those types of results, what you'll find is when you do create that page, and when you do include those videos and images that were already there, what you'll find is your pages will rank a lot faster, like remarkably faster. So I think there's a much bigger play there if you're willing, but there's a lot of work too. There's a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of investment for a business owner, you know, unless you're generating it for yourself. Like there's a lot of work there, but what you'll find is those pages will rank significantly well, a lot faster.
Hopefully that helps.
Yep.
Joe Smith is saying he's actually ugly.
I knew it. I knew it was. I could tell. It had that look, that reddish hue to it. I saw I thought it was.
Yeah. We've got programmatic SEO. So, guys, do keep your questions coming. Please do give a like and subscribe to the channel. We have 15 minutes left, so keep your questions coming. But Joe Smith's got another question. How do you guys test your SEO tactics as time goes by to make sure each tactic is still working? I.e., do you separate the tactic and only use one tactic on the test site, or GMBs or GBPs? Are you doing single variable testing, Chris?
So not in my opinion, one guy's opinion. So for me, I mean, I think that it's massively valuable to do a single variable test to see if there's a result. But I like more in the field or in the wild, however you want to look at it. Like let's build a page out and let's put it out like where all the other factors are at play, and let's just see if that's actually going to do something. Like, let's just do this one thing, put it out there in the wild, and let's see what happens. So especially for Google business profiles. So yeah, I think having test sites, like how else are you going to do it? You know, you can't, like, you don't want to just go out there and do everything on your own site. So I think having test sites and having either donors or test profiles is definitely the way to go. As far as retesting, that comes up, but only if something changes while you're, because I'm sure you yourself, whether you're doing organic or doing Google business, Google My Business type stuff, you probably have a set procedure or process. And the only way that you're going to stray away from that process is if you don't get the same result that you're looking for. Then I'll start going back through, like, well, what is it? Is it the citation press release stack? Is it the embedding? Is it the traffic? Is it, right? You start going through, like, what is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? Then I start going back through.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the answer to your question, yes.
I think you always have to test stuff. And also, just to add to that, sometimes stuff that no longer works then works again. So it's why testing is really important. Just try shit out, blow shit up, do what you need to do. And for the record, Chris does have a testing group as part of his mastermind, which I think is a good thing. Obviously, testing how to rank with fucking zeros on your page, or rank with a Google site, or rank with some other bullshit. Now, what I will also say is, I think there's a lot of wasted time on people who test just for testing's sake, and there's no real end result. You know, people say, "Oh yeah, I tested this, I tested that." So fuck, like, move on. Like, so I think you have to test things where you can, but you can't spend your whole day testing everything. So choose your tests wisely, is what I'm trying to say. Because if you're just going to be a guy that tests stuff to say that he's a tester, then you're never going to make any money. You need to rely on other people sharing information in your community and stuff like that as well, and grab what you think's good and stuff like that. You can't afford to just be the testing guy. It wouldn't be fair and not fucking feasible either. So someone has to actually do some work as well. So you can't just be a tester. But lots of different groups about, including Chrissy's, where there are guys actively doing tests. And I think testing is really important. And when I hear someone saying something, I like to go and test it and see how it works for me, if I believe that fits into my routine. So, you know, YouTube, for example, Chris might say, if you tried this, you've done that. Yeah. Well, he can tell me about 100 other tests I don't give a fuck about. But if it's something I don't feel I know about, or I've got a weak point on in terms of YouTube being one of them, then I'm always open to trying what people are using and analyze what people are doing and all that stuff. So just don't test everything. Do the basics right. Test certain things and make some money. So in your testing group, Chris, what other shit are you testing? Just because obviously he's talking about testing there. Are you testing GMBs and everything in there? What goes on in this testing group?
That's a lot of it. I mean, I do a lot. I do fun stuff too, like the zeros, stuff like that. But a majority of the testing is for Google Business, Google My Business, Google Maps. You know, like we've seen and tested out sending links to every link that there possibly is available for Google Business profiles. I've sent links to it to see, does that do anything? I've sent traffic to every freaking thing that there is. I'm trying to figure out, like, if there's 300 things that you could go and do, well, what are the 50 or 20 that will actually do something?
Yeah.
But I've tested quite a few things. And
yeah, you can join that, Joe, or anyone else listening.
I think
It's
89.
SEOmastermind.org.
That's it. Then you get
Check.
all the courses too. Join the testing group. I'll give you whatever the trainings are as I upload them. You'll get them. Get access to everything if you go in there. Yeah, man.
Maeve has a question about the last core update and what it was about. Did we ever decide what the last core update was about? Maeve had one website which tanked and now has just come back doing nothing. So Maeve's site's recovered, even though she's done fuck all to it.
Sounds good.
I want to say something here, Maeve, on this. Everyone, when an update comes out, now when an update comes out, people will see dips and climbs and all that stuff. For me, too many people are in a rush to make changes. When Google releases an update, sometimes it can take weeks to settle back down. And obviously, yours has settled back down, and you've done nothing. So I think the way I see it personally in my head is when Google does an algorithm update, it takes all these kind of different filters off, and that's where you see the rankings going all over the place, websites that shouldn't be there ranking, and all this shit. And they slowly start to put these filters back on. And that's why it takes time for things to settle down. And I think too many people jump the gun and try and make changes because they've had that little dip. And I get it, you shit your pants when your income's going down. But I've always been one to stand off and analyze the situation, find out what the community think the update's been about, talk to multiple people, and then if I'm still struggling at that point, I'll try and take action. I don't know what you're like, Chris, with updates. If you're similar or you jump in and make wholesale changes.
I usually wait at least 30 days before I do anything. And then I want to see too, because I only have a set few of sites that I can look at. Like now I have a couple hundred, but like before it was only like, 9 client sites. Like I'm looking at my own and I'm looking at theirs, so at least for us, initially I thought it was just straight up AI, but then I started seeing other sites that weren't using AI. And what I found is that they were lacking relevance. So that was one piece of it. I don't know what else or whatever anyone else figured out, but for me, I think a lot of the sites were lacking relevance, very specific types of words, LSI and entity words for the pages. Because as we started adding them, the site started doing a little bit better. So that's what I found. I'm sure it could be other things too, but at least in the niches that I'm in, the sites I was looking at, I think they were lacking relevance. More importantly, LSI and co-occurring keywords and entities for those pages.
I don't like to. I think when it comes to updates, there's always going to be a quality of some kind, something that Google are looking for that your website's lacked. Whether that be relevance, whether it be you've been using too much AI or spun content, or you get shitty links. If you're doing something and cutting corners, that is what the algorithm update's out to get. And yeah, and it's a core update, so it wasn't, it's a big fucking update. So I'm sure it would be multiple things rather than one specific thing with an update like that. But again, I don't like to speculate what exactly that would be. But all I can really re-emphasize is aim for quality all the time and relevance. And do all the stuff we know we should be doing, but we don't fucking do it. So, yeah, that's my opinion on it. Paul Hogden is here, though. Craig, I'm in the dark. Stick another 50p in the meter. I've no budget left. I'm out of budget, Paul. So, yeah, can't afford it. The price of electricity has shot up massively in the UK. Nah, my camera's fucked, mate. So, yeah. Anyway, UGC, user-generated content. SOs have Tourette's typing today. So, Paul, we got there in the end. What you're terming programmatic SEO, we would tend to call it something else. not sure what the name is, but not programmatic SEO. But hey, we've learned something new, that's the terminology that some of you guys are using, so it's always good to know. I don't tend to use user-generated content or any of that bullshit. I just think it's low-quality garbage that will get slapped eventually, in my opinion. And I know there's arguments to that certain websites, news websites and stuff like that get away with it, but
if it's all in one topic, I think it'll do well, because that's what
Yeah.
Google trained on, was user-generated content. But not if you're about a bunch of different topics. I don't know about that. It
No.
probably won't do so well.
And that's the thing we always do, is we probably want to broaden, like as an SEO guy, be like, fuck it, I'm not just concentrating on football or something.
Dogs, yeah.
Fucking sports in general. So to try and get the scalability. So yeah, it's not something I do a huge amount of, to be fair. David Hennessy has come in at the end. We still have 5 minutes, guys. So any last minute questions, please do put them in the live chat. Any insults, any abuse, anything you want to share, put it in the live chat. Please also do give us a like and subscribe on the video. It started off reasonably well. It's slowing down, but I don't know if it's just because of the hot weather. I don't know what the weather's like over in where you are, Chris, but we have like a fucking heat wave here.
Yeah, it's there, dude. I have the air on.
It's crazy here in the last few days. We've had insane weather, which is not normally the case in the UK. So I'm going to guess that a lot of the guys are hiding in their gardens having barbecues and shit. But yeah, if there is any last minute questions, please do put them there, because we do have 3 minutes left to kill, and I'm not leaving before an hour goes. Just not in my thing to do that. But also a last shout out for Paul Hogden and SEO Underground, seounderground.co.uk, £195 a ticket, and it should be a great event. It was a great event last year. Bill K is saying 107 degrees over in London. I heard crazy. Not sure what that is in Celsius, but it's probably like 38 to 40, Bill, round about that. It's not fun. It is not fun at all. It's really uncomfortable. I had to lie last night naked in the bed. Just picture this for a minute. Naked in the bed, everything hanging out, one arm, one leg, and everything else hanging out. There was a fan at the bottom of the bed fanning me. So it doesn't pay to be a fat guy in this type of heat, is all I can say. So picture that whilst you're having your dinner there, Bill. But SEO Underground's up and running, Chris. Are you interested in coming over for it?
Yeah, I am. Dude, that's so cool. Yeah, I'd love to. That, and I just got asked for one other one too. I'm really happy. That'd be cool, man. Hell yeah. I am.
What's the other one? Are you allowed to share?
Well, you didn't say not to. Rock Stars.
I'm going there as well. November.
Cool. November. Yeah.
Clint, I take it's Clint that reached out to you.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that one as well. So I'll catch you there. But
that was a dream, dude. I can't believe it.
Really? Did you not speak to Rob last year?
No, it's like that round robin thing. That was the only thing I really was in. You know, I wasn't like
actually speaker.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I'm going to Rockstars as well, man. So
yeah, I'm freaking thrilled.
So Rockstars yeah, it's a great event. But this one, Chris, is on the 4th of October. It is right next to the airport in London. The hotel room even overlooks the runway. So it is in London, which is a lot easier for people like you to get to. Holly Starks is coming. We would love for you to come if you're up for it. It's a one-day event, but there's a slight twist to the event. So there is going to be a second day or the day before or whatever it's going to be. And Paul Hogden can fill you in on this. But in order to recoup your costs, what he's going to allow people to do is have a private teaching room where I think it's 15 or 20 people can go in, and it'll be like 75 pounds a head, and it obviously helps you recover some of your
Travel.
costs, your travel. Yeah, so it's the day before, but Paul can fill you in that, so you've got the ability to do that and make your money, make your money back. So, but it would be great to have. So, Paul, I heard him saying yes. So stick his head on the website and just fucking harass him. He's committed.
I could do it
live. So
you said it's in what, October or November?
October the 4th. But Paul, shoot this man a message. Tell him all the details that he needs to know, and all that stuff. But obviously, you spoke there as a remote person last year, but it doesn't beat being there in person. So,
What you think? A one-day event? You like lower? I noticed that the price is fair, super fair.
Yeah.
A one day is worth less.
Not particularly. It's hard to say, Chris. So obviously, Paul. I was with Paul helping last year, tried to do this, and the price was slightly higher last year, and it wasn't a complete sellout. The problem we've got in the UK is people don't value SEO as much as you guys in America do. So when you go to a Rockstars or whatever, people pay $7 or $9 or $1,200, whatever, for an event. Here in the UK, people don't want to do it, and because it's a newer event that's not well established, I think the price has got to be fair to build up the So up. I just think last year, I can't remember if the prices was like $295 or $250 or whatever it was. Paul can tell us, but I just think that at that price point, it will allow us to put the conference on the map, and then obviously in years to come, we can add another day and all that kind of stuff, and charge a bit more for it and all that stuff. But there's going to be a day before, where there's going to be a number of different master classes, that people can pay like $75 a head, go along, and you can give them some black hat shit or whatever it was. So, or whatever shit you want to do, whether it be local or whatever. But Paul's saying $295 was the full price last year. So it has been lowered. We do have more capacity. And it's just trying to get more people through the door. It's not as a money-making exercise. I think it's just trying to establish a good conference here in the UK. And if we get guys like you, Holly, and some other good speakers along, then I think we're halfway to doing that.
Sounds good. I'm in.
He said yes, Paul. So we've got him. Job done. Robbie Mac, hello. We are sadly though out of time, and Chris may or may not have work to do, so we don't want to hold him back too much longer. But we will be back at the same time next week. Do check out ODYS. Do check out seounderground.co.uk. Do check out Chris Palmer SEO or SEOmastermind.org. And Chris will be in touch. And Andy Woolley has just said masterclass and Fringe Day before would be great. Meal in the evening if possible. Worked a charm at some of the events he's been to this year. So Andy, thank you for them. But guys, if you have watched this, please do give us a like and subscribe to the channel and all that good stuff. And we'll catch you same time next week.
See you in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.